It's not working. Let me see.
Introducing French's upside-down bottle.
I don't get it. This is supposed to be upside-down mustard. Boys.
Okay, that's far from the only, what would you call it, boy-bashing advert, humiliating boys, call it what you wish anyway. I've seen plenty of adverts like that. That's an American one, but here in Britain, the worst one I ever saw was for a toilet tissue. And at the end, cut long story short, at the end of the advert, the big sister had mummified her younger brother in toilet paper, and he was shown falling flat on his face. There was a screen in front of him, so there would have been a mattress behind that to stop him breaking his nose. But the imagery was disgusting, and by pure coincidence, there was a documentary about the advertising industry, and that very toilet paper, they showed the focus group that approved of this advert and said that they were all women. You know, what the fuck is wrong with women? Anyway, I found an article just yesterday, and it's from WebMD. I'll leave a link. And Inside Health News, and this is from January this year. And the title is, "Do Girls Think Boys Are Smarter?" Now, this is supposed to be a health website, so why the fuck are they interfering in education? Anyway, let's have a little look at it. And it's by one Hansa Bargava. I don't know whether Hansa is a man or a woman. Make no difference anyway, but this is a medical editor. "As a paediatrician, I enjoy talking with my patients about school. Recently I saw a 9-year-old girl and asked about her favourite subjects. She smiled and told me art, and then proceeded to say she didn't like math. When I asked why, she responded that she wasn't very good at it. My response to that is, so fucking what?" Anyway, he carries on, or she. "Girls of all ages have internal biases about their abilities and can have low self-esteem more frequently than boys their own age." Really? Says who? Oh, actually, he does have research. "Now, recently published research seems to suggest girls think boys are smarter than they are, starting at about age 6. In a study published in Journal of Science, researchers assigned various tasks to a group of 5 to 7-year-old children. Would you want researchers anywhere near your fucking children when they were doing something based on gender? Anyway, in one task they told the children a story about a really, really smart person. A child-level description of brilliant. When asked whether it was the picture of a professionally dressed man or woman, girls 6 and above were more likely to point to the picture of a man. Now, notice how they say professionally dressed man or woman. How was the woman dressed? Are they going to tell us that? Was she dressed like a housewife? Was she dressed in dungarees? Was she sleeping in a cardboard fucking box? You see the way they fucking get away with this. Show us the picture. In another task, girls were more likely to shy away from games that were supposed to be for children who are really, really smart. Well, so what? Leave kids alone. Let them sort their own stuff out. Anyway, he reached out to 2 experts, God help us, to give their thoughts on these findings. One of these experts is Heather Presley, VP of Programming for Girls on the Run. I'm just wondering straight away, so this is a gender-based program she's running. Is there a boys equivalent? Excuse me. I would be absolutely amazed if there is. Presley felt the findings of this study were not surprising, and she says, "It may be because at age 6 most girls enter school and have the influence of others that may be subconsciously biased." Schools? Really? Biased against girls? Bullshit. Teachers? Biased against girls? Bullshit. Parents? Biased against girls? Bullshit. And other students? Well, I don't know about that. But as soon as I'm done with this article, I'm going to give you some bits and bobs from another article that suggests exactly the opposite, which is how I've always felt about the education system for the last 20 plus years. The bias in it is all against boys. Presley suggests that teachers should recognise their subconscious bias, here we go, and give both genders the same exposure to different subjects. I couldn't agree more with that part of it. This would promote the same confidence, competence, blah, 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 blah. Additionally, here you go. Additionally, they should this is after both genders have been exposed, given the same exposure to different subjects. She says, additionally, they should put girls in extracurricular programs which have a mastery climate and a growth mindset. In other words, she's openly sexist. She believes that the children should be treated equally at first, which I agree with, and then she believes that girls should be given special help. Bullshit. Would you want to near your children, particularly your boys? Anyway, here's the other expert, Kristin Carruthers, a clinical psychologist who practices at the Child Mind Institute and specialises in ADHD and behavioural disorders, felt similarly. Carruthers believes that this can all be changed, oh dear God, by praising girls regularly about their smartness. Talk about their accomplishments, like helping calculate, oh God. Does she believe that boys should be treated the same way? It wouldn't appear so. And they should be helped to increase their self-esteem and confidence. Really, what about the fucking boys? They're subjected to these man-bashing fucking adverts. They have no positive role models because of the hysteria surrounding child abuse in schools. Back in the 80s, men have been scared to actually enter the teaching profession. There's now a dearth of men in the profession at primary level in particular, and I've realised I'm going to go over time unless I get on with this. And here's some actions she recommends for parents. Let your daughter know at every opportunity that she can do whatever she wants if she puts her mind to it. And what about your sons? She goes on to say then, in her second point, treat your sons and daughters the same way. Be vigilant about the media and the home. If you see a commercial or a video portraying a woman in a stereotypical role, fuck. Does she watch the fucking adverts? Talk to your kids about it, use it as a teaching, but right, fuck her and fuck this article. Like I said, I'll leave a link and I'll go straight on to another article. This is an article from The Independent Online in 2012. Female teachers accused of giving lower marks. This is specifically lower marks to boys, by the way. I'll leave a link in the description box again. It starts off, a key reason why boys lag behind in the classroom is revealed for the first time today. Female teachers. Now, everyone knows that girls are doing better than boys, and yet still, you've got all these bloody programs just good, and these people that I've previously mentioned. It's just women this, women that, girls the fucking other. Makes me sick. Research shows that boys lower their sights if they think their work is going to be marked by a woman because they believe their results will be worse. And I've seen other evidence of this, by the way, and I'll do another video in the future. It also shows their suspicions are correct. Female teachers did, on average, award lower marks to boys than unidentified external examiners. Male teachers, by contrast, awarded them higher marks than external examiners. The findings, published by the Centre for Economic Performance today, could have immense repercussions for boys because of the dearth of male teachers in the profession. Yeah, just covered that. Only 15% of primary school staff are men. Let me point out at this stage quickly as I can, this is the only area where I believe in gender parity, where they should, in the teaching profession, there should be as many men in the teaching profession as women, and strident efforts should be made to ensure that. Because when teachers are in charge of children, they are in loco parentis, and it is proven, a proven fact, that boys and girls both need positive male role models and positive female role models. That's my opinion anyway. Professor Alan Smithers said of the research, which was carried out of 1,200 children in 29 schools across the country, he suggested it has shown a possible reason for the glaring gap in performance between girls and boys right through schooling. Yeah, fucking female teachers. It also revealed that girls tried harder if they had a male teacher because they believed that they would get better marks. Their suspicions were not borne out though, as the male teachers tended to give them exactly the same marks as the external examiners. The study showed boys believed their answers would be 3% lower if marked by a woman. The girls thought their results would be 6% higher if marked by a man. So it would seem that both boys and girls would way prefer to be taught by men than women. And I just remembered a story that I read many years ago about a guy who was brought up as a child during the Second World War, and his city was being bombed, and he was taken away into the country. And he said that the story was never told of these female teachers. He said the abuse they used to subject the children to, but the boys in particular. And it wasn't until he was a man later on that he realised that because all the men were away fighting wars, that the female teachers were taking out their sexual frustrations on the boys. And I wonder how much of that is going on in schools today, because MGTOW is having a terrible effect on these stupid fucking females overall, but female teachers. God, what are they doing? Thank you if you've got this far. Thumbs up always helps, and comments below.